China has released a new white paper on national defense, its first in 4 years. The document lays out the country's military preparedness and security strategy. It turns out that one of Beijing's top concerns is somewhat domestic. Officials worry about separatist movements in Tibet and Xinjiang in the far west, and the paper goes on to warn Taiwan, a de facto functionally independent separate country, from declaring formal independence. China also singled out the United States, Japan, and Australia as players bringing security uncertainties to the Pacific region, and also pledged to respond if it was ever attacked, adding that its own military does not pose a threat.
The building and growth of China's defense capability is based on its own justified security demands. Its growth has always been the growth of the force for world peace. The white paper has clearly demonstrated China's policy of not pursuing hegemony. The theory that a strong country must seek hegemony will never apply to China. No matter how China is developed in the future, we will not threaten anyone, neither will we seek spheres of influence.
So China saying essentially, it's peaceful, the problem is everybody else. Adam Nee, a security expert at Macquarie University in Australia, joins us now for more. My first thought is those countries seeing China build out those military spaces in the South China Sea, they're not exactly buying into the pitch that this is a peaceful rise, are they?
Well, Melissa, China went to great length in this white paper to explain why its military modernization is peaceful and that has no intention of threatening any other countries. But whatever its intent or rhetoric, its actions speak the loudest, and regional countries are increasingly anxious about Chinese hard power. So the militarization of the South China Sea, its belligerence towards Taiwan, its encroachment on civil liberties in Hong Kong and human rights abuses in Xinjiang, and the general way in which it has become more repressive internally and more assertive internationally under Xi Jinping. These actions are creating real anxieties, both within China as well as in China's neighborhood and beyond.
What else struck you about the white paper?
Well, I think there are three things that really struck me. The first thing is antagonism towards the United States. The white paper characterizes the United States as a force that's trying to keep China down, or at least it implies that, and destabilize China's neighborhood. So, of course, it doesn't acknowledge that China's own role in raising some of the anxieties and destabilizing factors. But China sees the United States as a country that it confronts in the region and a real security challenge. But seeing this explicitly in this high-profile strategic and policy document is certainly important and speaks volume. The other two things are the white paper's focus on political loyalty of the armed forces above all else, as well as the internal focus of China's military. So in terms of maintaining domestic stability, but also the political power of the Communist Party.
How do you think the overall region of Asia, the Asia-Pacific, is going to react to this white paper?
I think very much so in terms of strategy. There's nothing really new in this paper. A lot of the details of the strategy, what China is doing, regionally, as well as in terms of its military modernization, is known, at least to the experts and the policymakers. But what I think is new is the new assertive, confident tone and the political rhetoric that accompanies it.
Adam Nee, thank you very much.